What if I told you that disappearing is one of the most powerful moves you can make in a woman's mind? The moment you stop chasing, stop messaging, and totally remove yourself, she begins thinking about you more than ever before. Sounds ridiculous, right? But here's the reality: the human mind is wired to desire what it cannot get. And when you disappear, you ignite something deep inside her psychology: curiosity, anxiety, and possibly obsession. Many men make the mistake of constantly trying to prove their value. They text first. They double-check if she is interested, and they strive to remain relevant in her life. But guess what? That's the quickest way to become invisible to her. When you are always available, always there, and always trying to keep her attention, she takes you for granted. She thinks she has you anytime she wants. But the instant you pull back, that is when the real game starts. Women don't react to absence the way men do. Once a man loses interest, he moves on. But a woman? She begins questioning herself. She wonders whether she misinterpreted the situation. She replays your interactions in her mind, trying to figure out why you're not chasing her like every other man. And the more time that goes by, the stronger these thoughts become. This video will break down exactly what happens in her mind, day by day, once you walk away. We are diving deep into the psychology of scarcity, uncertainty, and emotional triggers that make her need you more than ever before. Whether she is your ex, somebody you just began chatting with, or even a woman who was once blood warm about you, understanding this process will give you an upper hand in any circumstance. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why your absence is more powerful than your presence and how you can use this insight to your advantage, without manipulation, desperation, and without playing games. Now, let us get started. Day 1, she doesn't care yet. Let's be honest. On the first day you disappear, she is not worried. Sometimes she might not even notice. Women are used to attention from men, and if you stop reaching out, she thinks you are just busy. At this point, she feels no emotional loss. If she was lukewarm about you, she could even appreciate the space. But here is where many men go wrong: they expect a quick reaction. They think, if I stop sending messages, she will notice immediately. Wrong. Women don't react to silence the way men do. A man could consider that as a direct rejection, but a woman? She thinks she is still in control. She still believes she has you when she needs you. Now, let's assume you were texting her regularly, always available, and always fast to respond. If you abruptly stop, she will notice the change, but she will not be concerned yet. She will simply assume you'll be back. At this stage, there's no hurry, no emotional stimuli, and no feeling of loss. Picture this: you are in the restaurant, and the waiter continues refilling your water glass each time you take a sip. You never think about being thirsty since it's constantly there. But the instant the refills stop and your glass is empty, you immediately start wanting more water. That is exactly how a woman's mind operates when you walk away. Right now, her glass is still full. She has no cause for sensing anything. She assumes you will come back like every other man who plays the waiting game but finally gives in. But the instant she realizes you are truly gone, that is when the shift starts. Day 2 to 3. Wait, where did he go? Now, this is where things begin to get interesting. By the second or third day, she realizes your absence, but she won't admit it, not even to herself. Initially, it was only a fleeting thought: he hasn't texted me today. But she quickly brushes it off. After all, men disappear all the time, and many of them return crawling back. But here's where psychology steps in. She is used to predict your behavior. If you were always messaging, checking in, or commenting on her social media, she expected the trend to keep going. Now that you have stopped, you just became unpredictable. And unpredictability stimulates curiosity. She could do minor tests without knowing it. She will post something on social media, perhaps a selfie or a mysterious quote, just to find out whether you react. If she runs into you or sees you active someplace, she will pay extra attention to whether you recognize her or not. The instant she feels like you are truly disconnecting, something changes in her mind. Think of it like this: have you ever lost your keys? Initially, you don't worry because you believe they are around somewhere. But the longer you cannot find them, the more you begin retracing your steps, checking areas you know they are not, and over-evaluating every moment leading up to when they went missing. This is exactly what happens in her mind when she finds out that you are not acting like every other man. Day 4 to 5, she begins checking her phone. Now she is definitely paying attention. At this point, she is no longer just noticing your absence. She is feeling it. And the funniest part? She will not admit it. Not to herself, not to her circle of friends, and certainly not to you. But here is the reality: by day 4 or 5, she is checking her phone more than usual. Not necessarily for you, but simply in general. Each time she picks it up, there is just a little part of her that wonders if you have reached out. And when she doesn't see your name, that is when the slight pain of frustration creeps in. This is when it gets stressful for her. She was expecting you to cave. She thought you were just another man playing hard to get for a few days before surrendering. But now it's different. You are not following the directions she expected. She could start scrolling through past conversations, rereading your last messages, or even checking when you last appeared online, not because she is obsessed yet, but because she needs confirmation. Confirmation that you are still interested, that you are still thinking about her, and that she still has the upper hand. At this moment, a change happens. Rather than assuming she has you, she begins to question if she had you at all. And that small crack in her confidence, that is what makes her begin thinking about you more and more. Now, she will not reach out just yet. She still has her ego, but she will begin looking for signs. Perhaps you are liking another woman's post. Perhaps you are hanging out with friends. Perhaps a random status update. Everything that lets her know where your head is at. And if she doesn't see it, that's when her true frustration kicks in. Day 6 to 7, the confusion kicks in. Now she's beginning to feel it. The silence is no longer just apparent. It is bothering her. And here is something that many men don't understand: women don't like not knowing. It is not even about missing you yet. It is about losing control of the circumstance. By now, she expected something from you. A reaction, even a comment on one of her posts. But you have done nothing. And that is messing with her mind. This is when she begins thinking things she doesn't usually think. Did he truly just disappear? Is he seeing another woman? Was I not as important as I believed? But here's where many men screw up. They become impatient. They think, fine, it's been almost a week. She is definitely thinking about me. Perhaps I should check in just to keep her interested. And the moment you do, you throw away all you just acquired. Wake up. The whole purpose of disappearing is to create an enigma, to make her wonder, and to change the power dynamic. The instant you break and reach out, she wins. She gets the confirmation that she needed: oh, he was just playing a game. He still loves me. And just like that, she stops thinking about you. This is why many men don't succeed with women. They lack patience. They are so scared of losing her that they hand over their control the second things get awkward. But here's the thing: if she truly loved you, she will not forget you in a few days. Days 8 to 10, she begins to panic. At this stage, she is not just confused, she is worried that you have truly disappeared, and worried that you don't care. Worried that perhaps she made a mistake by not appreciating you when she had that opportunity. And here's the interesting part: nothing about you has shifted. You have not said anything. You haven't played emotional games. You have not even acknowledged her. Yet, in her perspective, you have suddenly become more important. Why? Because scarcity boosts demand. Think about it. If something is constantly available, it's taken for granted. But as soon as it disappears, people begin to recognize its value. That is exactly what's happening in her mind at this moment. You were once predictable, always available. Now you are a question mark. And that uncertainty is making you more appealing than ever. This is when she begins doing small things to capture your attention without making it appear like she is reaching out. She could post something indirect, perhaps a song lyric, perhaps a photo with a mysterious caption. She might interact with one of your close friends. She could even send a random unexpected message just to evaluate your response. But here is where you need to be strong. The most dangerous thing you can do right now is react. If you like her post, she wins. If you respond to her accidental message, she knows she is still in control. She wants a reaction, not a resolution. Day 11 to 14, she begins to doubt herself. Now the fear begins to set in, but at this point it is not just about you, it's about her. She begins replaying everything in her thoughts. Did I push him away? Was I not enough? Did he find someone else? And here is when things become very interesting. Her pride starts to take a hit. Many women think they have power in relationships. They thought men would always chase, always return, and always try to prove themselves. But you are breaking that trend. You are showing her something she hardly experiences, silence. And silence is powerful. Because suddenly, rather than assuming you are waiting for her, she begins to question her own worth. And when a woman begins doubting herself, that is when her emotions take control. This is the moment where she could start testing the waters. Perhaps she asks a mutual friend about you. Perhaps she suddenly views all your narratives or unexpectedly engages with an old post. Perhaps she even tries to appear like she doesn't care, posting about how relaxed she is, but here's the reality: if she truly didn't care, she wouldn't be thinking about you at all. The more she tries to convince herself she is over it, the clearer it gets. She is not.